They said Israel never existed, that the Jews never lived in this land, that Jerusalem was never their capital. But they didn't count on one thing: the rocks of the earth crying out. This is part 2 of the explosive journey into the archaeological evidence that shatters every lie used to erase Israel's biblical past. If you thought part 1 was shocking, you're about to uncover the discoveries so powerful they were buried, ignored, or even denied, all because they prove one thing: the Bible was right all along, and history is not on Islam's side. What you think about this? Comment your thoughts below, backhand index pointing down. Before we start, we'd like to ask for your support. If you enjoy our video, please hit the like button. This will help us reach more people and create content for you. Now let's get started with today's video. Claim number 1. There was no first or second temple on the Temple Mount. This is one of the most aggressive lies told to millions. Islamic authorities in Jerusalem, especially through the Waqf, claim there is no evidence that Solomon or Herod ever built a Jewish temple on what is now the Al-Aqsa compound. But guess what archaeology uncovered? Brick the temple stones that won't be silenced. In 1999, during unauthorized construction work on the Temple Mount, over 400 truckloads of ancient debris were dumped outside the site by the Islamic Waqf. But God had another plan. Israeli archaeologists and volunteers began the Temple Mount sifting project, carefully examining the dumped material. What they found: chisel marks matching Second Temple craftsmanship, Jewish ritual purity vessels, mikvahs, coins from the time of Pontius Pilate, inscribed stones marked for priestly use. These discoveries directly date to the Herodian period, Second Temple era. This aligns with the Gospel accounts and Jewish history, not Islamic revisionism. And the most chilling part? The Temple Mount is the only site in Israel where official archaeological digs are forbidden. Why? Because if excavated properly, the truth would bury the lies. Scroll claim number 2. Jerusalem is not a Jewish city. This claim is central to modern Islamic narratives. They say Jerusalem was never important to Jews and became significant only under Islam. But let's walk back in time with a spade. Acts City of David, the real Jerusalem. Just outside the southern walls of the Old City lies the City of David, the ancient biblical core of Jerusalem. Here's what archaeologists have found. Hezekiah's tunnel, built to protect Jerusalem's water during the Assyrian siege, 2 Kings 20 verse 20. Bully, clay seals, bearing the names of biblical officials like Gemariah son of Shaphan, Jeremiah 36 verse 10. The stepped stone structure and large stone building, possibly linked to King David's royal palace. And it doesn't stop there. In 2023, a new inscription was found referencing a house of Yahweh, dated to the 8th century BC, centuries before Islam even existed. These aren't myths. These are historical, physical fingerprints of Israel's ancient presence in Jerusalem. Open book: the Quran never mentions Jerusalem by name, not even once. This is crucial. While the Bible mentions Jerusalem over 800 times, the Quran never refers to it by name. Even the supposed night journey of Muhammad to Al-Aqsa is based on later traditions, not scripture. At the time of Muhammad, Jerusalem was a Christian Byzantine city with no mosque on the Temple Mount. Yet modern Islamic authorities claim Jerusalem is only Islamic. That's historical amnesia, and archaeology is the cure. Fire claim number 3. The Jewish people today are not descended from biblical Israelites. This lie is used to delegitimize Israel's connection to the land, claiming Ashkenazi or Sephardic Jews are Khazars or European converts. But archaeology, again, strikes a fatal blow to this myth. Ancient DNA and biblical bloodlines. In a 2021 study, researchers sequenced the genomes of ancient skeletons from Second Temple period tombs in Jerusalem and Jericho. Result? The DNA of ancient Judeans closely matches the genetic profiles of modern Ashkenazi, Sephardic, and Mizrahi Jews, proving continuity from biblical times to today. Archaeological sites from Galilee to the Negev contain Hebrew inscriptions, menorah carvings, synagogue ruins facing Jerusalem, tombs with the priestly blessing, Numbers 6:24-26, in Paleo-Hebrew. This is not just heritage. This is identity, written in bones and stone. And for claim number 4, there is no evidence for the exodus or conquest of Canaan. This is one of Islam's strongest claims against both Jewish and Christian history. They argue the biblical Exodus is fiction and the Israelites never conquered the land. But new findings say otherwise. Fire the Ebal Tablet and Curse of Sinai. In 2022, archaeologists revealed a tiny lead tablet found on Mount Ebal, the Mount of Curse, mentioned in Deuteronomy 27. It was inscribed with the world's oldest known Hebrew text, dating to the 13th to 14th century BC. Its contents? Cursed, cursed, cursed by the God Yahweh, you will surely die. This proves that Israelites were in Canaan during the exact time frame of Joshua's conquest, and were worshipping Yahweh long before supposed Islamic prophets. Brick, Jericho, and Hazor, the cities Joshua burned. Excavations at Jericho revealed a collapsed city wall, burned layers of destruction, grain jars left untouched, consistent with Joshua's swift conquest. Similarly, at Hazor, archaeologists found massive fire destruction and statues with smashed heads, matching the biblical command to destroy idols. Islam denies these events. Archaeology confirms them. Claim number 5. Islam predates Judaism or Christianity. A bold and deceptive claim, promoted through Abrahamic continuity. But the material record betrays this idea. There is zero archaeological evidence of Mecca, Medina, or Islamic worship practices before the 7th century AD. Meanwhile, Israelite altars dating to 1000 BC, Jewish synagogues from the 2nd century BC, Christian churches from the 3rd century AD, all precede Islam by centuries or millennia. The truth, Islam replaced, not fulfilled. The archaeological trail makes it clear. Islam's sacred sites are often built on top of Jewish or Christian holy places. The Dome of the Rock sits where the Jewish temple once stood. The Al-Aqsa Mosque was built near ruins of a Byzantine church. Even the Kaaba may have absorbed earlier pagan practices. The Quran may speak of prophets like Moses and Jesus, but it rewrites their stories, removes their Jewish context, and erases their message. Archaeology is not kind to revisionism. The stones cry out. Dramatic reenactment. A scribe carefully carves Hebrew letters into a stone in ancient Jerusalem. Centuries later, Islamic workers dump that very stone into a landfill, thinking the world will never know. But in 2025, a volunteer archaeologist picks it up, dusts it off, and gasps. Yahweh, priest, House of David. The truth can be buried, but it cannot be erased. What does this mean for you today? If you've been told, the Jews have no historical claim to the land. The Bible is mythology, and Islam is the true revelation. Ask yourself this. Why does the dirt beneath our feet prove the opposite? Do you believe the stones are speaking the truth? Backhand index pointing right comment, the Bible is history, if you do. Backhand index pointing right share this with someone who still believes the lies. Folded hands like, share, subscribe for more end-time revelations. Because the time is short,